No,
Okay.
no, you don't. Because
Okay.
here I am recording. We're 10 seconds in now. Hello there, Munchie Mafia. So, today's story starts out with just any ordinary Tuesday. I hate Tuesdays. I've decided I absolutely hate Tuesdays. And yes, I'm smoking a cigarette while filming this because it was the weirdest freaking day ever. Okay. So, I get dressed. I get in my car, I drive into town, get my coffee, get on the road, go the back way because 167 is jacked. And so I'm driving through um, the Lake Taps area, and I'm headed to work. And I get in the gate and I walk in the door and I say hello to everybody with my coffee and what on earth now? Coffee and what?
She's over there doing something.
Anyway, so can't do this as a live because um do I need to lift a chair leg up?
No.
Okay. So can't do this as a live because we don't have enough subscribers on Off Topic Squirrel yet. I really need to devote some more time to this channel because this channel it has a lot of potential to be a really cool channel. So anyway, back to the story. I get to work and I get let in and everything was as normal at 8:30 in the mother freaking morning. The COs are sitting at the front desk and so, were there any complaints this morning? Any problems? Anything? Nothing? Oh, cool. Great. I'm going I'm going away now. So I grab my meal count sheet and my keys and I start heading for my kitchen and I open the door and I walk in and everything seems as normal. Or so I thought. So I go and take care of all my paperwork. I do all my purchasing and do some more paperwork. And then I call the trustees into the kitchen to come and start their daily routine with me. And they're like, oh, we're so happy to see you. We've missed you. I'm like, really? I've only been gone 3 days. But that's so sweet. Now get back to work. And so they baked me this heart-shaped molasses oatmeal cookie with pink icing on it. And it was my birthday. It was my birthday cookie from my trustees. That was so sweet of them. It's like I freaking love the cookie. Of course, half of them helped me eat it, but I'm putting together all of dinner or all of lunch, and I'm noticing something kind of weird about my dishwasher. It's like he's like getting water all over the floor, and I don't think anything of it. And a little while later, he's like pushing the button, trying to get out to go to the bathroom, and he's like, "Why does it take them so long to let me out so I can go to the bathroom?" I go, "I don't know." Offhandedly, I say, "I don't know." They probably have a lot of stuff that's going on right now. They're trying to get to you as best as they possibly can. So just be patient. Not going to kill you for a minute or two, but please, for the love of God, whatever you do, do not pee in my sink. Famous last words. Famous last mother effing words. Okay? So we get around to finishing up lunch service. And I'm like, what the fuck is he doing over there? To one of my other trustees. He's like, I don't know. He's being weird. I said, yeah, he's being weird. Why is there water all over the place? Why is he squeegeeing the floor for the fourth time? What the hell could he possibly be doing over there that's creating so much god danged water all over my floor? And so we start serving out and then we're clearing out all the stuff and waiting for the cart to come back. And it's like he'd already gone to the bathroom at that point, okay? And he was gone for like 20 minutes. And so here we are. water all over the floor. We don't know why. And then it's lunchtime. So they get a 1 hour lunch, I get a half-hour lunch. And the reason why is because I take my 1 hour lunch into two separate pieces. Thankfully, I was told that our mandatory Tuesday meeting was canceled. So that was a good thing. So here we are, going over to look see what Derek is doing on his day 59,
60.
60, day 60. That's right, day 60, because today is the 30th and tomorrow's the 31st, and it's the last day. So, yes. Okay. So, now that we've got that straightened out, there's no live. And I'm like, ah, what the hell? So I scroll back through his channel, and I'm like looking and looking and looking. It's like he's got like this weird robotic thing going on, and I'm like, what the hell is that all about? Don't chew on that. Don't chew on that. That is not a chew toy. So I gave up on that, and I called Timmy to check up on him and see how things were going, see how his doctor's appointment went, and everything's going better. It's healing better. It's not healed, but it's better, right? And so I tell him, okay, I gotta get going. So I hang up the phone with him, and I send a text message and a couple more text messages, and I go in, and I'm taking care of some more paperwork and cleaning up and getting all my other stuff pulled for dinner service, and starting on dinner service. And I call the guys back in, and then next thing I know, it's like it's almost 3 o'clock at by this point, and I'm like, okay, we got 7 minutes before we go on break. Well, all of a sudden, it's like a voice comes over the radio, and I'm like, what the hell's that all about? And my dishwasher's like, never mind. And I'm like, okay. So I'm like taking care of dinner service. And I got one of the trustees beside me again, and he's learning how to do some of this stuff, and I'm showing him how to make the sauce for the chicken pasta. And so he's just whisking the hell out of it and getting it all nice and smooth and everything. I like whisking, yada yada yada. And it's like, okay, whatever. Just take care of it. Um, and I'm watching from behind a stack of trays that are like right in front of me. I'm watching. I'm like, what the hell? And he stops whisking for a moment. And he's like looking, and I got my head tilted to the side. I'm like, please tell me he's not taking a piss in my goddamn dish pit. He's like, what? No, you couldn't be doing that. No, no, really. Oh my God. So I'm like yelling at this guy, and I'm like, did you just take a piss in my goddamn dish pit? So he's adjusting his pants, being all freaking, you know, cagey and stuff. And I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And I'm like, you just peed in my dish pit, didn't you? And he turns around, he starts washing dishes again. I'm like, oh no, 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 no. So I go walking into my office, get on the phone, I'm on the phone, and I'm like, hi, I've got a weird question and a weird request to ask of you. Could you please, from this moment backwards, about 10 minutes, maybe, just look back in the camera footage, point it at the dish pit, and tell me if my dishwasher is peeing in the dish pit for me, please? And let me know. I want to. I'm not sure exactly what I'm seeing. I know this is a weird question. I feel really awkward. They're laughing about it. I can hear them laughing, and somebody in the control booth is like, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, "Exactly, exactly. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I'm confused. I don't know what I'm seeing. I'm hoping I'm just hallucinating." So I get off the phone with them. I go back into the kitchen, and I'm watching this guy. And of course, this time my head's tilted this way as best as I possibly can because I haven't had much movement in my neck. And so here we are. I'm like watching him.
Sorry.
And And then the guy that's helping me out is like, "Oh, it's 3 o'clock." I'm like, "Oh, cool. Let's go on break." Before we can even start heading for the door, all of a sudden the stormtroopers start descending upon the door, and all of a sudden the door flings open, and all these uniformed corrections officers are standing there. And one of them, I'm like looking at her, and my head is tilted this way this time, and I'm like looking at her like, well, without saying anything. And so they're calling this guy out to the hallway, and and she's like, mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh my God. Oh my freaking God. So the door slams shut, and he's up against the wall, and he's surrounded by six stormtroopers in black. And I'm like, holy hell. And the guys are like, they're all standing behind me at this point, and they're like, what the hell's going on here? I said, he frickin' peed in the goddamn dish pit. And they thought I was joking. They thought I was joking. And they, they're like, oh, he must have done something. He must have done something to piss him off. Must have been like passing stuff, because he went out to go take care of the lunch trays earlier, and he must have gotten in trouble for that. So, because they do stupid shit like that. So here we are. I just want to get the hell out of the building. I just know that as soon as I walk through that lobby, that I'm going to catch a ration of shit. And it's like, here's the commander. He comes out from his office, which is, you have to enter the break room in order to get into his office. And he's standing there. He's got this look on his face like he doesn't know what to say, right? And I'm like, yeah, so that happened today. Yay. How's your day? Because I don't know what else to say at that point. Everything just freaking awkward as hell. And everybody else is all just standing around the freaking holding cells. And they're like, how the hell did you know? How the hell did you know? Because it's like you were behind a stack of trays, and this guy had his back turned to you. How did you know? It's like, I had children. I had children that did squirrely ass shit just like that and tried to get away with it. It's like, by the time they hit about 6, maybe 7, you've already grown eyes in the back of your head, and your spidey senses are like, oh, something's going on. They're doing something they're not supposed to be doing. Well, hashtag triggered. So I'm like, and then on top of all of it, I could smell it. Okay, mind you, the dish pit is, a good 10 feet away from me. But it's like, I'm hypersensitive to certain scents, and human urine is one of them. I don't care how diluted it is, because you're spraying it down like a crazed madman with a freaking hose. I don't care. It's like I could freaking smell it, and you're acting squirrely as fuck. So I'm like, you just can't make this shit up. You just can't make it up. Never in my life have I ever seen this before. Now, I've worked in senior living where I had one guy with dementia that used to have to pee in a bag, and he would empty his catheter bag into the artificial potted plant in the lobby constantly, you know. But this, it's like, this is a whole other level of what the hell is going on here. I mean, we have indoor plumbing. This is not a third world country. What makes this guy think that that is acceptable in modern day society? I just don't get it. Just don't get it. So cue the pee jokes. Go and take my other half hour. I'm sitting in the trunk of my car, and I'm calling Timmy, and I'm like, you're not gonna believe what happened to me today. And he's like, oh. And he's laughing his ass off at me. He finds it very funny. And, I've find it kind of funny too, except for
It is
I'm
very funny.
it is very funny, except for that I'm the one that's going to ultimately have to clean up biohazard from my dish pit and sanitize things. So I sent a message through Teams to my two bosses. So today got really weird today. I had a trustee take a piss in the dish pit. both of them both of them sent a message back through Teams. WTF. WTF. I'm like, yeah, right. They're like, I hope you're going to be sanitizing that. I said, you better freaking believe it. And and so the commander was asking me, so it looks like you're going to be cleaning up. And I said, yeah, I'm going to be sanitizing that like crazy. And he goes, yeah, you're going to be sanitizing. And I said, yep, sanitizing. I think what we should do is just burn it to the freaking ground. And I looked at him dead in the eyes and I said that. And I'm like, just burn it to the ground. Just freaking kill it with fire. But actually, what I was seriously thinking was, no, you bring me back that trustee because I'm going to make him clean it up with his tongue. I'm going to make him clean the entire kitchen with his tongue. Yeah. I think that's fair. Why should I have to suffer cleaning up his freaking urine because he doesn't understand that we have indoor plumbing. Indoor plumbing. No, actually, deep down, my inner sadist was saying, no, rip his pecker off and beat him with it repeatedly. But no, that's just the little inner voice in the back of my head. Don't worry, got it under control. It's staying in the back of my head, but the thought has crossed my mind. Whole lot of thoughts have crossed my mind that's probably not appropriate for YouTube. So I'm just going to keep the rest of those just on the back burner. But if you would like to hear all about those voices, those intrusive thoughts that usually happens with OCD, please by all means check out Discord. I'll tell you all about it. The dark rumblings in the back of my mind, those intrusive thoughts because of OCD. So, yeah, the person with OCD has to clean up somebody else's human urine out of a dish pit in a commercial kitchen that serves food. Okay, I don't get it. I just don't freaking get it. So, yeah. So one of the corrections officers brings in some of the carts, and he's like, "Here, let me push this into the pish dit, not dish pit, but piss dit." And I'm like, "Oh my god, the jokes are just gonna keep coming, aren't they?" But when I was trying to come back into the building because I have to ring myself into the building, they're like, "Don't forget to stop off at the bathroom and take a piss before you go into the kitchen." I'm like, "Huh?" As luck would have it, I had to take a piss, but I went and took a piss afterwards. It's like, because that's what adults do. That's what people do in civilized society. They go to the restroom, they pull their pants down, squat on the toilet, take their piss, flush the wipe, flush the toilet, go over to the sink, wash your hands, and leave. Not the dish pit. It's like, fuck my life. So that was my day. So, Munchie Mafia, the moral to the story is
Don't be in the dish pit.
don't pee in the sink, man. Just don't pee in the sink. Unless it's your sink and you're willing to clean it up. But don't piss in somebody else's sink. And please don't piss in public. So anyway, they took this guy out and he's not allowed to come back. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. So yeah, you just can't make this shit up. Just can't. You just can't. So, Munchie Mafia, have a good night. And don't forget, cook with love, eat with passion.